welcome to a bit of a weird one. This is the session where we get wacky. This is the session where we're just going to be weird. It's fine. It's neat.
Where we go to Iwaki?
Just casually revealing where I live. No, it's neat. I've said that before, 100%. Yes, we're going to get wacky naughty wacky, I'm in Sendai. But I am in a coffee shop, and there's no one else here, but when there is people here, I will put this on. Just disclaimer, wear masks. All right, let's get the session started. There's no recap today. I will instead recap for you. Do you want to know what happened last session? Well, you guys went and had a meeting with Sorella, and it was funky, fresh. Found out he had 2 friends, and Brian got his low-key bully on. Everyone else got their like passive aggressive. Oh my God, Sorella, why are you being so moody and silent, dark, and mysterious? But then in the end, it all worked out because you guys have got your meeting with Terravine. With that, that was weird. And with that, we will get into the session. So, you are where Sorella left you. I believe that Bluey, the blue one, went out last session to go and retrieve. Was it Bluey?
Go and
retrieve them because they are outside of the... Yes.
Yeah, and I think she saw them like move through...
in the distance through the archways.
Yes.
They approach you. The time of your... That's what I'm looking for. The time of your meeting drawing ever closer, and they say, "Well, did you make a decision?"
I think we already did this.
We already did this. Cool.
Yeah, we already...
This is the fun stuff that happens when you don't do a recap. Sweet. Let's just say you're waiting. And that's it. Inside the room, let me just check my notes because I was in the wrong place.
You were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I
We
know
went to
what
look for
conclusions
coffee.
we came to, but
That was it. I didn't put that in my notes because that's in my notebook, which is at home. Sweet. Okay, so you guys went to look for coffee. All right, you guys walk out of the embassy and across the bridges towards the main thoroughfare which you left, down the sort of stairwells which would lead you back to the first level of the city, where there are more shops, bazaars, that kind of thing, less of the official buildings which you would find just in the city of Brass itself. Again, that presence of Ifrit is increased, and you see that it's somewhat more so than when you entered into the embassy. As time passes and as word spreads, more and more of the official kind of like peacekeeping of the city are on a high alert. And you notice that as people are going into various establishments and as people are walking the streets, randomly almost, it seems, they are being pulled aside and their papers are being checked and security is tightening.
Okay, I think seeing that, Cass would be like, I just wanted to grab something for Susan, so why don't you guys all head back in the embassy to avoid being checked for papers, and I will be quick and be back for a meeting.
We shouldn't separate just so that we all have the papers together.
Saraza like grabs you by the scruff and just says, No. He slowly starts pushing you forwards.
Is that me?
Yes. No.
I wasn't sure that was-
Releases you once you're like about a foot ahead of him, but like he just gives you this look of just, we can't do this.
Is that no to separating or no to
Yes.
buying the present?
No
Okay.
to separating.
I was like, Cass is just like, but Nesh mask. So Cass is gonna go. She wants to go and rebuy her mask, but potentially, I don't know if a halfling needs a smaller mask size.
It's adjustable, so you can head back to the shop and you see that the tailor is there. They are like bashing away its leather. It's mercifully not that beautiful fey cow leather that you guys adore ever so much. Just some like indiscriminate sort of like animal skin. And you can make the repurchase again.
Cool.
I don't have my book with me. I'm sorry. So
Just
if you can just
it's
check
fine,
your notes
yeah,
for how
we'll just yeah.
expensive it was. Yeah, cool.
I will
And you know it's
check it.
adjustable, so you know it's adjustable. So there is there's no problem. And they said they'll bring it. It'll be ready within the day. So not right now, but
Cool.
you can come back for it later.
Perfect.
Sweet. All right, and everyone, you do see a fabled coffee stand.
I was about to ask.
It's the darkest of roasts, unsurprisingly, absolutely pitch black, and it's sort of frothing at the top with this grey moosed milk or liquid. But like the froth is so dense that it's almost rolling off the sides like a Guinness. You're thinking a cold brew, but it's hot in your hands. And they're being sold by a rickety old woman with 3 teeth and just as many fingers. And she says, "Come closer, children, for coffee.
I've got to get one for Cyril.
The liquor of the gods."
Is it 3 fingers total? Oh my goodness.
3 teeth and just as many
Teeth.
fingers.
Nice.
It's like a constantness, which I think is just really fun.
Cool.
Fair.
Well, we're
You
gonna
wanted coffee? It's here for you.
with coffee.
Anybody
Cyril
buying
wanted
it?
a black coffee.
I think he did. Loran says. I think he wanted. Actually, I think he wanted a really. I think he wanted lots of coffee. Let's buy him. I'm going to get him 12. And Loran's like, "Do you have a carry case? Maybe 3 of those." And this woman just starts preparing coffees.
That was funny.
Yeah, I know. I just think he seems really evasive. Maybe he's tired. Maybe he can't get his thoughts straight, and maybe what he needs right now is
A piece
something
of
like
ham.
around this size. Yes,
Cute.
So as you, oh wait, can I just say this says underneath my soy milk sticker, "Tidings of coffee and joy." How cute is that?
Oh,
That's so neat.
Aw.
that's quite close to the camera now. We're getting
Loran's
getting
just
an
like
action
approaches the
shot.
cast, just like coffee. This is how I will go for the rest of the session. Hey guys.
Enough for a pit feint.
Product placement.
I'm so tired. I
I
like.
think Cass is just kind of keeping an eye
50% more
out.
susceptible.
She's not partaking in the coffee. She's just like she's just looking around, seeing what's going on. Actually, it's D&D. I roll a perception check.
Naturally.
Like, my brain is not geared for D&D right now. This is not making me fine. That's a 22, I think.
22. Okay. With a 22,
Yeah,
looking
22.
around, you see there is sort of like a line of 4 Ifrit who are walking abreast up the road, and they make it right to the coffee stand. And there's a moment of tension when you think, "Oh no, it's our turn." And I would like somebody to roll me a d20.
Just anybody.
Shall Cass do it because she was looking for them?
It doesn't really actually matter. You know what? For fun, I'm going to roll a d6 and tell you who does it.
Do it.
1,
Got to get my
2,
D20 out.
3. Bluey, it is you.
Okay. It's 13.
13. Okay. Walking by. Tell me how you're acting natural in this situation. How are you acting
being
natural? You watch Loran just like with his coffee, just like assume some kind of like walking pose, like everything's fine. Freeze frame.
I'll take one of the coffees.
Yeah. Sarah's like fully like just like brings the cloak up like he doesn't understand these things,
I feel like Bluey would be like really looking at this coffee and being like, whoa. Like, that's her natural?
Bluey, Canon Bluey's never had coffee before, so.
And not coffee that looks like this, anyway. Bluey.
Never had a charcoal milk foam coffee before?
Oh my goodness, you are so uncultured, Loren says. Don't worry, Bluey. We'll fix that soon enough. I know an artisanal place, although I prefer tea.
Yeah, tea's good.
Okay. We can make
Has
that
more
work.
caffeine sometimes too.
This is facts. Actual facts. So as you are all acting natural, the Ifrit paused to... There's a bug in here. The Ifrit paused to kind of like look at you and then continue past, carrying on up the road. And you do see there are more on their way, but these ones, for example, these ones seem to have passed you by. You acted natural enough, it appears. So, you acquire
Almost an
your
impossible
coffees.
feat for our party.
I know. I set the DC for when you're in a crowded area as a 10, so it was doable. Pretty simply doable. But it's one dice roll, so it could have gone the other way. So, acquiring your coffees, Loran treats you all. I know you're all very poor, and I understand that, you know, I need to pull my weight as the richest among us, other than my husband, but, you know, we share what we have. And
There is a common misunderstanding that I am very rich. In fact, I have no access to my parents' funds.
also, we need to talk. No, I'm joking.
Also blubs a little bit.
Loran just kind of pinches your nose. And you finish up at the coffee stand. You make your way back towards the embassy if there's nothing else you want to do.
No.
Sweet. Okay, you guys begin to make your way
And I
back.
think that's like in game as well. Like, no, I brought us out because I wanted to get a mask, and now I want us back in. So let's move.
You guys slightly pull ahead, and you kind of like leading the group with your sort of like energy of like, I need to get back, I need to get back. And as you go, Cass, can you just tell me what your passive perception is?
It's pretty good actually. 17.
17, okay. So you're using your passive perception to sort of just naturally observe your surroundings as you go. Looking, you can kind of notice something flicker at the corner of your eye. Like there's something standing in the periphery of your vision, but you don't quite see what it is. And when you turn your head to look, it's already gone. But exactly what that was, you don't know. You've never seen kind of or experienced anything like that before.
Can I kind of roll a bit more of a perception, like stop and be like, what was that?
The investigation.
Or is it? Yeah.
But you're pretty certain you don't see anything unless. No? Okay. You kind of
14.
like, whoa, and then immediately stopping so suddenly, you just feel like, I think probably Neff, because, no, hell, I'm doing this all the time.
Neff.
It's not there. Ruby even. Ruby, because
Ruby.
she's sort of like new to the group and a bit trundling along, just kind of like bashes into the back of you. And you stumble over each other a little.
Clonk.
Ah!
Clunk.
I need to channel like all the energy I have to Ruby today.
Sorry, Ruby. I think that.
Dude, that is quite alright.
No, she's so cute.
Might I try a
Right,
coffee
well.
too?
I think that would be a bad idea.
Loran is already in the process.
I think
Yeah,
that
I
would
was
be a
like,
bad
sorry,
idea.
What am I
Loran
doing?
looks
It's
at
already
Ulster
done.
and just says, I think it would be a very good
Whoa.
idea.
Whilst they're having
I
that
love
debate,
coffee.
Cass has already passed Ruby the coffee.
Oh, I see. I've been usurped of my position.
This stuff tastes great.
Well,
Oh
Cass,
dear.
now we will never resolve this conflict, Ulster and I. You've stolen this moment of growth from us.
Cass is already walking.
Goodbye. She's left. She's left me. My closest, most dearest friend.
I thought she annoyed you.
Oh, she does. But
Then that makes her
sometimes-
your closest and dearest friend.
Exactly. It's very hard to annoy me. So
Understood. Also takes Soren's hand and keeps walking.
okay.
Laughs in Neff.
Also,
There's
I
a
think
little sign. Oh, sorry. Go on.
sorry.
I was just going to say, it's a little sign over there that says Azure, and I was thinking, where is it? But yes,
Oh.
continue. Neat. Continue. Yes, Leah.
I think Slee is actually like walking like right up with Cass now.
Sweet. So Cass and Leah leading the charge.
Cass and Leah are like fully.
Yeah, one track mind. There we go. That's the one.
Yeah,
You understand that
going
Laran
to take
enjoys
years
it.
off your life if you don't have fun.
This
Yeah,
is
Cass is
true.
normally back with Brian and
Try
Laran being
deflecting every
chaotic.
now and again. It's neat.
You've
Use
broken
humour.
past the point of seriousness.
Also, I would. I think we need to talk again later, seriously. But for now,
Also, just chugs his coffee.
well, not much I can do.
It's better than
So-
alcohol.
It actually is, but be careful. It's still addictive. You don't want brown teeth.
Cass and Leah are already through the door.
You guys make your way together to the embassy, and you get your papers checked once more. And now it is a far easier re-entry. Now, I don't think you would have brought Ballista with you
Feliz
for
Navidad.
this, because you no longer require her to enter the part of the building.
We no longer
And she did say in the while we were discussing our plans that while we were in the embassy that she would go ahead and get the
Yeah,
kids
she was going to get
situated.
it. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure you guys didn't want anything from
She
her.
has
or
the
anything
moss
like that.
now.
She's one with the moss.
She has the moss and no
Single tear. I will remember now. Plays in the background. So you guys, and you don't need anything from her. So you guys continue, and you no longer need her to enter the building. And going inside, you do find that Soras is not quite yet there. Your trip down to the sort of like first level entryway of the city took a little bit less time than you expected. But you all assemble and you wait. Is there anything you would like to do exploring the venue, looking at any of the hell doors which sort of spiral upwards? Anything you want to do like that? Or are you going to
Okay.
just wait for Soras?
Can I just
How's it
survey the surroundings? I'm trying to protect the group from any evils lurking about. That's my job.
Understood. Make a perception check.
Alright,
For
a
evil.
perception check.
Evil.
Oh, hey, I have something.
You know what? You have advantage because you're full of caffeine. And you probably have never had caffeine before. So I just think this would be
I can see everything!
neat.
It's a 15.
Even things that aren't there.
What did you roll?
15 on the perception.
15.
I need to stop shaking so
Ev-
bad.
Everything down here is evil. Your eyes kind of twitch. And like there are sort of like sunspots like in your eyes. And you're just like, what is that? What is that?
What's that over there?
Like you kind of like a sort of like lizard, you kind of like go down on your front legs and you just kind of like scrambling across the floor. I think you just feel Sarah's just like put a foot on the edge of your tail to stop you getting too far, and you're just kind of like zooming around
What was
the
it?
group
Oh,
as much as
Sarah's
you
there.
can with that sort of like
Oh my god, would she drop her tail?
big strength check.
No.
Make a contested
No.
strength check.
Oh.
I think it's going to be difficult for you.
Who's doing what?
Anna,
You make
we
a
lost
strength check.
you.
Me? Why am I strength checking? Okay.
Just think you lose your
Because
tail.
Ryan wants to rip off your tail.
Oh, Brian is trying.
Sarah's
Sarah's. Well, that is
Sarah's
a.
Touching
That's
her tail.
21.
21.
21.
You rolled the same.
Oh!
You come into
I was the
knowledge
opponent.
that your tail could shed,
My tail could shed it.
but it doesn't.
My tail feels rather loose today.
That is horrifying, though. Okay, all right.
I saved a lizard the other day from Roppy. He was trying to eat it, so I picked it up and put it outside.
Yay! I watched
Good
this.
on you.
I watched this
The
TikTok
lizard
last night
thank you.
of this ginger cat trying to like attack this rabbit.
It
And,
was so
like,
cute.
It was
Oh
so
my god,
cute.
was it a TikTok? And it was like, how dare you?
Yeah.
I hate you. Look at the bunny.
And I was just thinking, because like the person who saved it was like to his cat, like, how could you do this? I hate you. You're precious and beautiful. Let me protect. And I was just like, This is Salza to Brian and Loretta the cat. Like, I'll send it to you guys later.
It's cute.
I've seen it. Our For You pages are
So
one and the
linked.
same.
One and the same. In sync. I love it. So anyway, you guys wait with a sort of scrambling on the floor, Ruby. Bluey, is there anything that you're doing in preparation for this, Leah?
I think it's like making sure the story's straight. Not that Bluey's planning on like saying any of it. Like,
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think we do need to discuss what we're saying to Taravine. Because I feel
They
like
did
Cass
say
doesn't-
don't lie.
Yeah, don't lie. So are we just going to tell Taravine, like, not lying, but do we need to tell Taravine everything? Like, what are we saying?
I'm looking at Cass and around like, no lies. No lying.
Telling lies.
I mean, the biggest truth would be like, Alan is my patron, and I just want to overthrow him.
yes.
Help me.
That's fun because that's for you. For me, I want to do this
What are
funky
you?
thing where I destroy every fun, like, part of the person who, just abused my husband. But you get how it be. You get it.
But
Both of those
first
things.
but do we want to say, like we kind of said to Sorella about it being me wanting to break the contract and stuff? Do we
it's
want to
not-
kind of go with that and to try and see how that goes, or do we want to completely reveal our cards, which is that's not really what we're trying to do, and that we're actually trying to sort out?
See, this is why you're one of my good friends, because that is actually not a bad idea. Shockingly.
Cass is
So-
looking slightly suspicious, but it's like, okay, Moran's being nice to me.
I think
I get ready to mediate between them, like, no fights, please.
if we don't want to show our cards and we feel confident that we can pass that off as our only goal, it might not be a terrible idea. Because I think what we want is knowledge on the location, how to access the contracts safely, and whether or not we can destroy them. Those seem to be the goals we're working towards, unless there's anything else. But
It's just whether the contracts are different. Is it that Carul's contracts with the factory is with Taravine, or is his contracts with Alan? We know he's made some sort of deals with Alan, but it's whether, because if it's with Taravine as the intermediary, then we also have another goal, which is Taravine needs to break off the contract.
understood.
But
Well, then why don't
if
we-
we're just going with the other one?
Would
Would
you care
Carul-
about Carul?
Taravine, honestly, to me, feels like a middleman. It seems to me that the stuff he's doing for Alan. And if a demon is doing something for another demon, it means there's a contract involved. That is just...
Well, then let's
A
just
fact.
say that let's use me as a sort of, I don't want to be in his Alan already, at the end of the day, that's not revealing anything to Alan. Even if it gets to Alan, it's quite clear I'm trying to break my contract with Alan. So I haven't contacted him. I haven't done anything that he said. And I am shifting my alliance to the Archfey. So it's quite clear that I'm kind of done with that shit.
The correct way to break up with an ex.
This is true.
So if it gets back to him, he already knows.
Around Galaxy Brain, Brian doesn't have an ex.
You're right, I think. Cass. Dear God, what has come of me? But I think what we can also try and do, yes, Ulster, hey,
What if we pitch it like we're trying to get rid of the people right under Alan, because then that will make him weaker? Like Carul and Sai, for example.
that's fine.
If we need to bring him up at all, he might ask why we want to get rid of Carul, and I don't think we hate him is a good enough reason.
Well, basically, we can just say we don't like Alan, and by proxy, the people that he's kind of sent after us. We don't have any quarrel with you, Taravine. and we think that the best way to get rid of those people is to help you get higher. Do it
I
like
think that's a
Skill
good
bitches.
idea. I think that's the best way forward, and I think that is something that he could respond to.
and be like, yeah.
It's also not a lie. We would rather
No.
have absolutely anyone, I think, in power, other than Karul, Alan, mayhaps Elijah as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, with contracts, we can say kind of in the sense of we will help you achieve your goal of ascending, which we won't necessarily be going back on because we're trying to get rid of the people above him. So if likelihood is we're going to have to sign a contract with Taravine if we're doing this. So it needs to be something that we will actually do because otherwise it's but if we make it more that we aren't going to put like our contract goal isn't putting Taravine on top, but it is to get rid of Alana.
Taravine doesn't want to be on top.
no. That we know.
Make him the king bottom.
He wants to roll from the bottom down.
He's a power bottom.
Oh, thank fuck! Somebody said it.
Oh, dear.
I was thinking.
Brian says all of that with a straight face.
He does. And Lorraine
Okay.
stares at him like this. And Sarah stares at him like this.
And Cass, who's been in a
Intrigue,
Cass, who's been in a state
concern.
of very bad place for a while, kind of cracks a smile for the first time since Neth died.
Stunning.
His ears go a little bit pink.
Oh, goodness me. Okay. We have Taravine's best interests at heart. He can rule for all we care. We have our own quarrels with Alan and Karul. And anyone else anyone else up there also is probably involved with us or hates us for some reason. So this all checks out if you ask me.
Yeah. If we make it that the contract is less like, not that we're trying to advance Taravine, but that we're trying to get rid of Taravine
Enemies.
the enemies, then or people that he's having to serve, then that way that ties in with what we're doing anyway. So it's like sick. Bra.
Bra,
Yes.
Rat King.
Ruby recognizes the call of her people.
Bra, bra.
Her head
The
turns
siren song.
at the mention of a brah.
She's like a feel like
Lorraine says, so, we will have to sign a contract. And, I don't necessarily know whether or not we can sign as a group, or we will have to sign individually. But I do know that contracts can be weird, okay? Especially here. How dare you roll your case when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons? Better fine. Contracts can be weird. We have to sign something. We know that. So just go with it. Whatever happens, we're gonna be all right. Just go with it.
if possible, I will try and be the one to sign.
Cass, no, you have no soul left to barter with. We are intact.
Cass is like, yeah, but if I succeed in my contract with Taravine, I will once again have a soul to barter away. Woohoo!
Indeed.
Okay, Cass doesn't say that with the enthusiasm I did.
Sure,
She's
sure.
depressed.
Stay in that mindset, George. I believe you can.
If you ever see me acting fun, that is me out of character.
You can be depressed and act fun. It's a coping mechanism.
Not for Cass. This is not how I'm playing her right now.
Okay.
That's just her genuine. Anyway, back.
As you discussed,
Bad.
you hear footsteps kind of clacking across the floor, and you turn, and Cyrillas is there. And something you've noticed, something that also probably would have clued into, the rest of you kind of occupied with talking, would have gotten a little bit later, is that the kind of like rumbling from like the doorway to the hells, the first sort of doorway to the hells above you, where there was previously like kind of rock and sort of like flames sort of just spitting out from beneath it, has simmered down, calming ever so slightly. And Sorella just kind of like skirts around.
That's suspicious.
That's weird. I can't do an American accent. That's weird. I can. And Sorella just kind of skirts around a sort of circle of rubble on the floor and takes a step closer and just says, "So, I have your meeting. Are you ready?"
We have coffee for you. Actually, we have 9 because we drank 3 of the coffees, but we did get you 12.
Thank God, I really needed it. And they sort of reach forward and take one. And 1 is enough, though. Or 9, and starts taking 9.
Brian's heartbroken face.
Yeah. Takes 9 coffees just under their arms, like, I will mediate this discussion as best I can. They kind of juggle coffee as it starts to slosh out one side. Hopefully, you have your goals in mind.
Now we do.
Mostly.
Like, I want this to go well for you. I try not to take to take allegiances or form alliances of any kind, but I want this to go right.
I love the soft music in the background of Starbucks.
I know, it feels like a really emotionally dark
Feel-good family film.
I mean, like, I actually really like you guys, and I've never let anyone in. I go up this wall, but you're breaking it down. The 9 copies of the way to my heart.
It's a teen coming of age movie. I don't know. Oh no. Well, you know what's going to be really neat when I break out the Terrifying voice with like 4 people in here? I may just...
Oh yeah, that's a power move.
Should I put Call on Me on again? Are we going into his yoga studio?
And stretch.
He greets us in like little
Sorella
comments.
just like looks around to all of you and just says, "This isn't what I usually do." It's music. This isn't what I usually do, you know. I've cut myself off, but I'm ready to make connections again. No. Just says, "This isn't what I usually do, but I will mediate your conversation as best as I can. But if things get dangerous, you understand that I have larger goals at stake. I have ways
On a
to leave."
scale of 1 to 10, how dangerous is this going to get, do you think?
Taravine
You
is
would
a
learn it
pit
to you.
fiend.
Yeah.
Taravine is a pit fiend.
So about 6. Putting
7.
dragons at 10.
Green dragons are not a 10.
Dragons?
Not a 10.
Who would you put them as?
Depending on the dragon, 7 to 9.
I would like to insight check this.
I would like to as well, actually.
Sure.
24.
14 plus 9, is that 23?
Yes.
Cool. They break.
Cool.
They break just the smallest, like.
Do you like dragons, Thrilleras?
He narrows his eyes.
Friendly
Not
with some
particularly.
dragons.
I don't particularly have any kind of opinion.
Can I insight check that to see if it's a negative
Yeah,
reaction or a
same.
positive reaction?
Sure.
Cass is kind of like
26.
looking.
18 plus
blowing.
9, 27.
Brian's like right in Thrilleras' face.
Sure.
Claire and Brian are like,
Yeah, we're just like playing off each other like,
we see you.
yeah.
It's conflicted, certainly. Leaning positive, but like in the sense of like you don't feel any ill will in the words, not to the extent you'd expect if it was someone talking about someone they disliked specifically. So maybe leaning towards positive, which is actually unusual in its own right, considering this is a
Yeah.
world where dragons, first of all, every dragon you've met or come into contact with has been batshit crazy. Except for Courage, and Courage isn't technically a dragon in the same way.
He's very dragon.
Very dragon. Though they are the closest you could get. And every dragon you've thought of, you sort of like know of, other than Tiamat, who is seen as a slightly less evil presence in this world compared to what D&D lore usually knows her as. Just in mythology.
You say as we battled her, like...
You have not battled Tiamat. You would know if you'd battled Tiamat.
We prefer not to.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, you might have other ideas, but the common lore of this world is that dragons have been dealt with and are usually evil, but that Tiamat as a deity represents sort of like fundamental change and recreation.
Interesting. I nod at Sorelaras. I think you're slightly biased. I'll keep them at a 10 until further notice.
They nod back and say, it's based on personal experience for you, I understand, so update the list as you go, I think would be the safest bet. Okay. We have about 4 minutes, so let's just wait here. And Sorelaras just stands quietly with his hands clasped in front of him.
Got more coffees.
I will need the loo if I drink more.
But they'll get cold.
What's Leah thinking?
Yeah. Oh, Flea wants to do a sneaky sending to Sorelaras.
Certainly. What would you like to do? Roll
Drink
sleight
your
of hand.
coffee.
If you're being sneaky, first of all, roll sleight of hand with it.
Come on, Zintiel's dice.
Do it, boy.
Okay. I mean, Brian's gonna see it. I know it.
Brian's gonna say, "Ooh,
Oh,
It's an
Hi,
18.
Sophie. Hi, Sophie. 18. Yes, Brian definitely sees that.
Yeah.
What do you... So Brian sees the casting. What message are you
Yes.
sending?
She says, "Does the name Relorelith ring any bells?"
So, when you say that, there's a sort of slight jerking head movement towards you, and then it's sort of just a flicker, and Sorelaras replies, "If you survive this meeting, we'll talk more."
Brian's just being like,
Sorry, that's all internal.
Understood. You did it. Well done. I'm proud of you.
Leah's ears just kind of perk up just a little bit, though. Like she's
Yeah,
almost kind of excited
sure.
about.
she looks to the side and Brian's just like,
sweet. I wish I could
Turn
talk to you about stuff.
Brian and Loran and go, if this is going to be as dangerous as it potentially could be, should we send a message saying, if you don't hear from us in a certain time frame, get more hair?
"There's a lot of hair."
Just as like a pre-warning of potential death.
Understood. I can do this.
Serena and
certainly.
roll me probably. I have many
The team.
hairstyles.
Understood. You know what would be neat if they like teamed up?
That would be terrifying.
It would be a force free.
They still got to have family dinner.
I'm
Oh my god.
determined for that to happen. In fact, let's do it. Once we leave the city, if as a reward for breaking all the contracts, because that's definitely going to happen in the next
And being alive.
few days, and being alive, we'll have family dinner.
Okay.
With
Look-
Cass present.
Looks to the rest of the party. We will. Let's talk about that later.
No, Cass has already marked it in her diary, like, yeah. Not that Cass owns the diary, but
4
she's
days
miming
hence.
acting it like, yeah.
I really appreciate. Sorry, it's just on my screen. I've noticed, but that George, Anna, and Aelin, you're all wearing primary colours, and you're just like nice in a nice little row. And you look great, like the wiggle. It's just fun.
Wait, Emma, are you in black?
Yes.
So they're all in colours and we're white.
Of course.
Are we the,
Green represent.
we're the Power Rangers?
The Power Rangers, let's go!
We need a pink ranger.
I'll be the pink.
Oh wait, actually,
Oh, okay.
There we go.
sorry, my Hamilton shirt is pink. It
That's
looks
cute.
like my skin tone, so I usually wear something over it.
Understood. Gotcha. All right, so Sorella
That's breaking out in Hamilton chat.
10, 9.
Wait,
Eight.
Loran, quickly message Serena and Robbie.
I'm doing it, don't worry. And the message that Loran sends, he says it out loud because that's just Loran's style. He says, first to Zarina, mother dearest, if I die, know I died as I lived, being a cocky bastard. Also, there's a hair. We'll contact you. You know.
No, we won't. If we don't contact you, it's the hair.
If we don't contact you, use the hair. There you go. And then to roll me says, is there anything specifically you want to say to him, Ulster?
If we don't contact you within 2 days, please use the hair to resurrect. Reincarnate.
Hello, Father. So good to speak to you again. We're currently in hell. If we don't talk to you for the next 2 days, which I know is normal, but in this instance it's not, please use the hair. You understand. I see you. That's all. Okay, and he just kind of like nods in his head and says, yes, this will be fine. I got replies, they're okay. Your father was slightly concerned, but
Slightly.
slightly. That's a change. A good one.
Character development.
3, 2, 1. Let us leave. Sorry, said. There it is. Hang on a second.
I just have flashbacks to modern AU game. The cat
Oh, yeah.
shotting with her fishnet legs and hot dog body.
Oh my god.
Oh no. There are men in here and I don't like them.
Relatable.
Also, it got too warm, so now it's
Sorry
just
to the
Hamilton
men.
shirt.
Yeah, we don't
Sorry
mean
to
you guys.
you guys.
You guys fine.
Not all men.
Soldiers.
Not all.
So, right. As you follow
Only you
Sorella.
could make a sanctum, Emma.
If only I could, but alas, I
Can't do
can't.
men's.
What I can do is I can put my jacket over my legs and then go like this. Amorphous blob.
Aw, that was cozy.
It's very cozy. This is my puppy blob. I have it in pink as well. And look.
Adorable.
That's all. So. Ugh. Right. As you make your way through the embassy following Solaras.
Brian jumps in front of Loran. He's like stuck himself in front, like, yes, this is fine, and walks with him.
Loran is like, I have a bodyguard.
Yes.
I'm famous.
Let me figure out how tall Brian is today. How
Well, we haven't done that in a little while.
he is 5'10".
Hey, height buddies.
Loran like puts his like chin perfectly onto his shoulder and she's like, yes, this will do. This will do nicely. And you guys make your way through. Back through that curving corridor. So I'm just going to open my notes properly again. Back through that curving corridor, you see it is still as it was previously, lined on both sides with those sort of twisting metal doors, the ones that you have to brush a pattern through to unlock. Just like before, there is no discernible way to figure out which ones are occupied and which ones aren't. Soras just seems to know. what they are doing and where they are headed. They lead you past the room They lead you past the room you guys had your first meeting in, take you very much deeper into the embassy, until you reach a sort of like curving passageway, which seems to sort of like slowly slope below ground. And you follow it through deeper and deeper, walking for about...
to hell we go.
Walking for about, say, 5 or so minutes, before you reach a iron-wrought set of double doors. And Sorella sighs and says, Taravine's a bit of a self-important bastard.
Most bottoms are.
A brat, you could say.
We can play into that, I suppose.
I would try not to say that to his face.
No.
Like I said, I have certain privileges, which means I can say it for you if you really need it.
Maybe we shouldn't call him a bottom to his face.
A brat or a bastard. A bottom, I think he doesn't mind.
Oh, I just meant play to his ego.
Exactly. I think that you
To
understand.
call him a
that.
top.
No, Taravine, the great yoga instructor of the city of Bra.
We bought
Oh,
leg warmers. We should have brought leg warmers.
Loran starts fashioning some leg warmers with his magic.
Leah, how fast can you knit?
Fast can you get?
Oh, I had this realization the other day. I think Loran can also knit.
That's so wholesome.
Because
It's cute.
his magic is all about weaving, right? So I reckon he's like done like tapestry making, weaving.
You can make those little like sassy. What are they called? Like the crochet.
Yeah, he can crochet. He has like a sewing.
I feel like
like
he's out exclusively doing
I
like
cannot do
naughty
any of those
things,
things, but
crocheting naughty things for Brian.
Yeah.
That's all. And whether that's canon
He
or
makes
not,
his own
that's what
shibari
Cass is
ropes.
picturing.
naturally, all of the things that I can't do, like he makes like yarn, he makes like tapestries, weaving shit. So he probably can do
Does the
this.
cross stitch pillows with the
Cross-stitch
sassy
pillows.
sayings?
Of course he does. Clothes, though, I guess I'm going to leave in Slya's realm, outside of modern AU, of course. But fun, fun home decor.
The rigging is homemade.
So,
Chug chug.
chug indeed.
Sip, sip, bitch.
Sip, bitch. I would love that on a crochet.
On a pillow.
So Loran starts like just like weaving something with his magic, and you will take a sort of step back as Soras approaches the door. It's pretty much the same setup as the other room you were in. I think you can handle yourselves, so I won't interrupt too much. But you know that I've worked with these people for some time, and with that in mind, if I do feel like I can assist you, offer you some insight, I will try and do that. I'm a broker of contracts after all. If it comes to the nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
Itty bitty.
Incy wincy.
And
I will do what I can.
I think we're developing a rapport with Sorella Rat.
It's fun. It's neat. It's weird, but it's neat. And
Soon Sorella Rat will have 8 friends.
oh,
Hey,
you
friends.
guys want to be their friend? Maybe that remains to be seen.
Debatable.
Debatable.
Let's see how well he brokers this contract. And then
Yeah,
we
understood.
want him as a friend.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, so you guys take a step back as Sorella approaches the door and says, also, I'd recommend not spell casting. He's a tad touchy about that.
What about making
now.
leg warmers?
Maybe give him some fair warning.
what do you mean about especially now? Because of something that happened recently to him and his business, or
Perhaps
something else?
We all
something
blink
along
big
those
innocent
lines.
eyes up.
He looks at you like perhaps something along those lines.
For shame.
What a shame, indeed. Anyway, and they begin to open the door. And I think there's a loo in here. We don't see one. I think we'll take a really short break
Can I break?
for loo, and then we will go
Alrighty.
into Sura's meetings.
We'll be
All right.
right.
Okay. The music
Boom
is
audio.
a bit jazzy at the moment. So.
Boom video. We're back.
Woo.
Yeah, I like the classical background music.
It's really jazzy. This is gonna be impossible. So, you guys, you watch as Sorelleras traces a pattern over the doorway, following the sort of snaking lines of the iron-wrought gates. They shudder for a moment and then retract into jail cell-like bars before sliding downwards, revealing behind them a large room, much larger than the one you had your first meeting in. At the center of which is a pit. Funny that is a pit, sort of like sloping ever so slightly downwards. In the center of that pit, there are how many of you are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Great.
Sorry, it's just like dancing music.
There are 7 chairs. There are 7 chairs, one for each of you. Again, all perfectly sized to your proportions.
Musical chairs, I'm down.
Mm-hmm. And then opposite, sort of like arranged in a semicircle, and then opposite those, on a slightly higher part of the slope, you see a larger chair. Sitting in it with one sort of like fist curled tightly, sort of like held slamming against the armrest, you see a monstrous figure. Red skin, eyes lit like fire, yoga pants,
Tight.
tight. The sign of a bottom.
Are they grey?
Yeah.
Oh no.
They're grey. Like influencers on Instagram would wear, to make the booty pop.
Grey tracksuit. Yeah.
Booty popping, eyebrows on fleek. No. You see Taravine sitting in the chair. The moment he sees you, he almost sits up out of it, just like sort of steam rolling from his nostrils as like an anger overtakes him. And then Sorelleras follows you in, and you watch as his eyes just kind of flicker over. I'm just realizing this makes it sound like there's something between them. I promise you there isn't.
Does this mean Sorelleras is a
Sure.
top? This changes everything.
Anyway, so oh no, we can enjoy my serious D&D game.
Yep.
You know, grim dark fantasy. The moment that Taravine lays eyes on Sorelleras, he kind of just like quells that fear, swallowing whatever rage was building inside of him for a moment long enough to sit down. I've got to do the voice in public.
Yes!
You'll never see any of these people again.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god.
You could bring the mic up close like that.
Okay,
ASMR.
you're gonna hate this.
Be like,
You asked for it. You. I know it was you.
Choke me like you hate me.
No!
Oh!
I know it
With
was
a bit
you.
of corpse.
They all just blow a kiss like.
I know it was you. You did this. You were the ones who summoned me here, so it had to have been you. And he kind of is just like holding himself in his seat, quivering where he sits. And Sorelleras just looks to you all and just says, Lily, get away.
Scat, Lily.
Sorelleras' eyes just like, it's time to sit. Looking towards the chairs. And they begin to make their way down. Do you sit down?
Should we put the leg warmers on the floor? Is that a correct
peace
way to do the
offering.
offering? Yeah.
Loran puts them like forwards on like a velvet pillow, just like, here is my peace offering. One coffee alongside them. We've brought
good
you leg
sacrifice.
warmers and coffee. Yeah. A worthy one. I'm sure that's enough to atone for the sins. So cannot believe this is where the game has gone.
I can. At this point, I can.
Yeah, I should have known.
I'm proud this is where the game is going, in fact.
As am I. So, anyway, you all begin to make your way down and take your seats opposite Terrifying. You're maybe 15 feet away from him at the furthest. There's a sort of enough space between you that you don't feel sweltered. But from his size alone, you are sort of just like, his presence is inescapable. He leans forward just in his seat and kind of looks to each one of you and he says, "Why have you come here?" Stop it!
Sorry.
Mean.
I'm enjoying.
I think Cass would drop her disguise self.
Okay.
Because obviously she has her warlock mark. And she goes, "I think you're familiar with who uses this mark." And
You see Terrifying sort of just like reaches a hand around and just feels the small of his back where his tramp stamp is. Tramp stamps for Alan.
Oh no.
And we are interested in say lessening the person who gave me this mark's power and influence, and by proxy advancing yours.
He looks at Sir Alaras. You trust them? And Sir Alaras says,
Brian grins at Solarus like, "Got your 9 coffees."
"I would say they are worth at least listening to." You look.
We'll get there.
You think you can do this? You think that you can take Alan? You are.
You're like rubbing the microphone or something.
Don't rub the mic.
It's just because I can't figure out. I can't hear myself.
Correct.
No. I was just doing this with my fingers. Did you really hear it that badly?
Ah! It's making a weird noise.
sorry.
It's going like
Okay.
every time you do it.
Okay. Maybe that's just his voice. Maybe he does that.
Truly terrifying.
Okay. I hate playing in Starbucks. I'm also inclined to hold it closer because I can't really hear you guys that well. So I'm telling you. Even though I know that makes no difference, it just feels like it does. It's Christmas music, damn it. Okay. Sir Alaras. Not Sir Alaras. Oh, ow. Dice. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Terrifying is coming to town.
Terrifying says, "You are strong enough to destroy my forge. Burn it from the inside out. Take my whole crew down with it. I will rebuild, of course, but..." I'm sorry, the Santa Claus is coming to town is really not it. Hang on. Let me just...
He sees you when you're sleeping.
I think it's rounding out the vibes.
He puts a little dancing Santa on between you and just...
If you think of Santa as a creepy person, then that makes it easier. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. His name is Alan.
Carol Mallow. That too. Alan also works.
Horrifying.
Terrifying just says, "You clearly have the power, but I don't think you know what you're dealing with. And it doesn't change the material cost you caused me. You say you want to change the hierarchy of things, but I want some more solid proof. You have a mark. How do I know you're not trying to betray me? How do I know you're not working with him to turn me against him?
Is there any proof?
I can swear on him because I was like, Cass would be like, obviously here would be like swear on a Bible. But I suppose he's technically my patron, so I'm shifting my allegiance elsewhere. I'm trying to break all ties with him.
Her magic is pink and sparkly now.
What? Yes, yes, that's true. It's no longer sandy. It is more like rainbows.
Okay. But
Would that
make persuasion
do
check. Cass. For
anything?
Cass. This is just for Cass. Just make a persuasion check. The rest of you.
Oh, it's such a shame. I'm really bad at persuasion. That is a
17 to
29.
29.
No,
May as well be a 17.
no, that's not right. That was a lie. 24.
20. Pretty normal. Okay, cool. Yes, so you... Taravan looks at you. There's still a kind of like rippling rage, just kind of like tension in his shoulders. But he seems to just kind of like squint his eyes and then almost seem to nod, inclining his head at you. But then he moves to the others. Fine. She might be good for it, but you lot. Humans have their own agendas. Not tied down by anything but their own selfish desires. As if I'm one to judge. Humanoids. You get it. You know what I mean. Humanoids. None of you are tied down. You've never signed contracts before, I can tell that.
Emotional contracts, baby.
Those don't count.
Contract
Not here.
gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Not down here, they don't count.
Oh, you've signed a contract? Name every contract.
I'm in hell.
Literally.
You say as
Literally.
Christmas music is blaring in the background.
Only adds to the aura.
Hell is a department store at Christmas.
Hell was the Adidas shop at the outlet mall we went to yesterday. I didn't go in because Adidas. Sportswear.
Ugh.
Ugh. But apparently, like, there was some like sale going on, and you couldn't move. The shop was so packed. And I'm just like,
Oh.
nope. That sounds like a Rona hub, so I'm not going to go there. You know. But anyway, so what was it called? Taravane says, opening my notes again because this phone keeps closing. Taravane says, a show of power. I've seen that from you. The way you destroyed my forge. But in all honesty, I wasn't doing that for myself.
Bless you.
Sorry, I'm allergic to the mention of forges.
You say, Ruby says in Neff's voice.
That's very Neff-esque. I'm sorry, I'm allergic to forges.
To be fair, Neff was the ultimate, had the ultimate allergy to a forge.
Grand. Taravine was saying something which was...
I've seen a show of power
you-
from
Show
you.
power.
Yeah, I've seen a show of power from you.
But-
oh, right, yeah. It says, I've seen a show of power from you. You destroyed my forge. But in all honesty, that was not a line of work I was particularly invested in. I think you've got me down, Pat, you know.
You like yoga?
Yes, that I do, that's obvious. All demons like yoga. But, you know, I've worked my way up from the bottom.
Brian's just like,
Oh, we know. It's just about boss.
we support a power bottom.
He raises his eyebrows in acknowledgement. You seem to have passed the test, Brian.
Radiating aura.
two down.
Verse-
We just need
verse
the rest of the
bottoms.
party to also pass the
First bottoms and power bottoms unite.
Yeah. Real. Taravine says, ascension. Yes, that's what I want. You know that much, but you say you can help me take it. What will you ask for in return?
Look at Cass.
Well, as you can see, I am, as much as I'm trying to shift allegiance, my soul is not currently my own. So, in return, we would like advice on where Alan is keeping his contracts and how to, say, break one.
My soul is not my own.
Taravine
Do
sort of
up with that.
laughs. Taravine laughs and looks to Soelaras and then back to you and says, I don't think I'm the person to talk to about breaking the contracts.
Well, we want access to some of your contracts as well, for your benefit.
What do you need?
But we want to take out some underlings of Alan. I think you might know some of them. They have insurance we don't want them to have.
Names? Now?
Karul Malel. Potentially Sai, but mainly Karul. He's the scary one right now.
I see your cards. I see what you're trying to do. I think. All right. Brian,
Yes.
can you please make me a persuasion check?
Ooh.
Cass,
Should I use?
well,
That's
oh,
good.
I'll let you do it.
Cass cannot assist this, no.
No.
Oh, it's pretty
I'm
good.
going to do something separately. But,
Okay.
I could do better,
I'm
but I think
gonna
that's
do
pretty
something
good.
else.
It's a 19.
19. Okay. Candace says, all right. I see you. Looks from Cass to Allstare to Loran. And Loran says, oh, it's my turn. Okay, cool. Right.
I guess
Well,
it's my turn.
I guess it's my turn. If you're trying to check the validity of everybody here, I think you'll find that we all have the aligned goals. Also, I know a decent amount about fiends and fiendish contracts, and I don't know, I could do some, like a little bit of work on the side to just, help you get a leg up if that's what you want. Very good with the fireballs. Do a little explosion every now and again. Anything you might need, taking on a couple of enemies, not beyond me. But no, I think you've heard all I have to say. And Taravine just says, you are strange. And roll the d20. Passable. And Taravine looks past Loran to Saraza. Saraza goes, I wasn't expecting. I hate you, but we need this. And I think you can understand that desperation. I think everybody can, regardless of background or creed. They know. We want to work with you. You need to work with us as well to get what you really want. Just bear that in mind. And Cyrus is going to get a little disadvantage on his roll. Meh. Then, Slya. He looks to you. You look inquisitive. What do you have to say in this?
We work together, we get everything. You get what you want, and we get what we want. It's It's as simple as that.
An equal exchange.
Yes.
Looks away from you for a moment, thinking. I can feel you are touched by deities. Kind of just shivers a little at that. But that means you're powerful as well in your own right.
I keep the one who does the fireballs alive.
Loran says, what does she do? She does. And Taraban just goes, Slayer, can you please make me a persuasion check?
Okay.
Just run.
Just run.
Oh,
Is it good?
it's very good.
Yay!
I'm not proficient. Dirty 20.
Okay, sweet.
Ooh.
Perfect. Going very well so far for you guys. Just thought like threw you in there, a little behind the scenes.
Oh God, he's gonna pass to Ruby. We're gonna all be like,
Bluey. Bluey, your microphone's off. Okay.
I'm gonna try cam off.
Cool. Okay. Bluey. I hear birds. From
This morning.
Birds
Neat.
and Frosty the Snowman is quite the combination.
What a
Really
great
sets
session we're having in hell. Yeah. Bluey. Taravan looks over you and says, you are Dragonborn. I can't hear you if you're speaking.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Sorry.
Am I?
Well,
I'm
that's
disguised
actually
at the moment,
interesting.
yes.
Hang on a sec. Let me just triple check one thing.
Look, can he see through such things?
Yes,
or
I
no?
think he can.
Oh no,
Can
he
you
knows
see
most
that-
of us are Fae.
Yep.
Got that
That's
true
neat.
sight.
Yeah, he does.
When
says-
you can see through it, can you tell that they're trying to be disguised or?
Yeah.
And he
Okay.
knows that we need to be
He knows.
disguised outside, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some sort of like shimmer of
Yeah.
a shorter.
Oh, yeah.
like, tiefling
There's
or
there's an
whatever.
aura there. Bluey says you are Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Usually I would not single one out, but it is it's interesting. You may have encountered those fanatics in the volcano.
Wait,
Whole group
looking,
looks to
looking,
Ruby.
Yeah, looking to Ruby like.
He kind of just give a glance, but doesn't like linger. They're not known to leave their volcano very often. You know that much, so.
Right. Okay. Yeah. They're very friendly. They did want to like eat somebody, and
Sounds
we
like
maybe, weren't exactly like. I don't know. We made some like recipe suggestions. She does like quotes, scare quotes, like to like
Recipe suggestions.
leave the person alive with sage, and then anyway.
That sounds quite good. No, I have a different request. of
Yeah,
you.
sorry.
Well, I would have a request of you. Should we make a contract?
Mm-hmm. Me?
I just want to know how they're accessing the center of the volcano. Other than yourselves, they are the main cause of disruption amongst my workforce, and I would see them dealt with. You could provide me with this information, couldn't you?
I mean, I could. Yes.
And
The-
will you?
Yeah. Yeah, so the way they could get through is the way we got through. And it was very
Serena starts
long.
going, shh. Shh. He kind of just like looks over at Taravine, just like, Louis, you don't have to answer anything until the contract is signed.
Oh. Is this like a court?
No, but I don't want you to. I don't want anyone trying things they shouldn't just because they know that the people here don't necessarily have a good handle on how things are done. And he gives Taravine a look. And Taravine goes, it was worth a try. Right. Bluey, can you please make me a persuasion check?
Oh boy, I didn't even mention, like, yes, my dislike for Alan is also,
Of course.
you know...
This is though, he wants this specific thing from you. He kind of has an idea that you guys have got that down. But
it's
from
persuasion,
you,
right?
Yeah. From you and from the
14.
way that Ruby is clinging to your side, I think that there is something to be said for this one thing, a bit more personal thing you could do in terms of like his actual business rather than his blood feud. Sure, how did you go? How did you go? I'm not Australian.
How's it going?
How did you go? How did you go?
How's it going?
One word.
Well, 14. That kind of resembles how this went. He does nod and he says, I'd apologise for trying. He doesn't say anything else.
That's alright.
Last look to Ruby.
I'll give an encouraging look to Ruby.
Ruby's kind of not paying attention and looking around for potential evil. Still hyped up on the caffeine.
Ruby
Terrified, like points and just
wouldn't
says,
be.
What?
Oh, yes.
What is this?
Ruby wouldn't be entering into the contract. Ruby is just here.
Will they be signing on by proxy for anyone?
No. So
For the Rat
Ruby
King,
will be
he's
neither
joining with you
entering
guys.
the contract on there. Will not be helping.
Understood. You look like you might know the Rat King.
I do know the Rat King instead.
Ruby,
Indeed.
you don't need to say anything.
Ruby, if you are
I
not
feel
going to
bad
take part in
because
the
I want
contract,
Thomas to say. I want Thomas to say something, but I don't want Ruby to be
Okay,
taken
okay.
advantage
I've got a good
of,
compromise.
so-
Ruby nods with vigor and excitement as she acknowledges your wishes for her not to say anything.
Terrifying asks Ruby, "Are you a fan of yoga? Or do you think that you could, mayhaps,
Oh no. Lure the Rat King in with the promise of yoga.
It's gonna test my yoga skills. Oh no.
do you think you could mayhaps show me some moves?"
I'm gonna show some moves, but not IRL.
Sweet. Of course.
Can I do a?
What kind of moves do you show?
Can I do an acrobatics check to do like a? The
Yes.
splits. She's gonna have a very liberal interpretation of what yoga means. She's gonna really put the
Yes.
performance into it.
You should have just done downward dog.
Downward dog. She just stays in that position for the rest of the meeting.
Yes, yoga, downward dog, and then just stays there for the rest of the campaign. Ooh, that's a 23.
Campaign.
23.
You do a kick into a split.
Kick
You do
into
a
split.
kick into a split, and you kind of just like kind of stay there, like your hands like kind of poised up in the air. Do a
Oh
little
god. I'm actually now
like
more
backwards and
concerned
forwards.
because we know Taravine has a penchant for kobolds, and now I'm like, do I need to
Gay.
protect Ruby's
So gay.
integrity?
He's unbelievably gay.
Just
It's
gay.
okay.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
Do not you worry.
Fine.
He's
Little
vibing with
Ruby
Brian,
gay.
Cass. He's gay.
He's vibing with Brian.
Be gay.
Gay. I don't know what that was. This is my dance. For when I want to let you know that an NPC is gay. So as you do your amazing yoga moves, Ruby, he nods and he says, your form could be improved. Much like I could improve the lives of everyone who follows the Rat King. Improve. Alright. You're exempt from this. Okay. You'll make a compelling argument. You seem committed to changing the order of things, and I think I can respect that. I can also respect that you managed to get in to my forge as far as you did, not many do and live to tell the tale.
Yikes.
Yeah, thinks back. Like, nope, let's not mention that.
Mostly because they do not let them live. Lucky none of you were caught. Or none of you tried to break in. I could have had your souls to work with. That would have been something. Well then. It seems that we've negotiated as much as we can, so clearly, directly to me. Tell me what you want. Your terms.
Sorry, I love that, Chris. It's so festive.
Clearly and directly lay out what it is you want to me.
We want access to the contracts between Elan and individuals like myself. And also Cass is also thinking about Ballista. And we want contracts between yourself and any underlings. Basically anyone in connection to Elan and Karul, so that we can really fuck up their power structures.
The majority of these things should be within my ability. For contracts for people such as yourself, I can only advise you. But contracts between myself and any of Karul's underlings, those would be subcontracts. Those would be things I can acquire. Okay, that's doable. Is that all that you want?
Taraviza, I have a question.
Yes.
With Karul's contract, specifically because he is our most scary main man at the moment, would you suggest if we had the contract that it should be broken or just kept to, be like, we have your contract, nothing you can do about it, etc.? What would be the biggest punch in the gut,
I'm not the one to answer that, I think.
Oh.
You look, Sister Belleras. You could get advice elsewhere.
Okay. Looks at Cereras, I'll buy you more coffee.
Solaras just nods and says, I can answer that now. Hello, Thomas's butt.
Oh,
I can answer this now for you. To a certain degree of accuracy. It depends on the individual's relationship with the patron, how important the contract is to them. It should not be within their power to break it, but if they feel it is within their power to take on their contractor, then I imagine that contract itself holds far less weight.
okay.
My recommendation would be to read it, see whether its terms are benefiting you by controlling the individual. If they are, maybe keep it intact. If they're not, make your own decision based on that.
What is
But
the
you can
usual
consult
trade?
me.
Well, maybe this is more Tarabine and you. What did Karul trade for his extra bodies? What is the usual going price for extra bodies?
Taravine leans forward and says, that kind of thing. The bodies, they usually aren't mass-produced. I prefer to make them bespoke.
Understandable. Man of class, quality, taste.
That's why I only use Fae.
Mm-hmm.
a longer guarantee. Anyway,
Longer ears too.
had a really awful thought. I'm not going to say it out loud. He says, where was I? Shit.
Longer guarantee.
Going price, going good, longer guarantee, yeah. It says, for Carul's specific situation, you can read it from the contract when we make a deal. I will say for the going price, there's something in it for me. And usually it comes with a guarantee of power. As you know, souls are everything. And when you die, the soul's relinquished. But if your body goes into another vessel, the soul is still free to move. You're asking for more time before you are delivered into the hands of your patron. And time is the most valuable commodity.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that in asking for more time, the trade would probably be something tangible, real-world power that only the follower can achieve for the patron in their current state of living. For example, the toppling of a society, the insurance of that patron's place in a new world order, the spreading of the religion to gain more souls. Those are the kinds of things we're talking about. But of course, this would be on a remarkable scale to have a deal such as this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did Carul want... Sorry, I just want to clarify how your bespoke process works. Did he want you to remake his body, or does he just want any Fae body with the same lifespan?
He kind of gives you a look, just like, doesn't really want to say, so I'll need you to make me a persuasion check.
Okay. It's the same, it's a 19.
19. I won't go into details, like I said. Contracts need to be signed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to sign the contract right now, I'm sure we can have that arranged, and then I can tell you all that you want to know.
Before that happens, which I'm sure will be happening imminently, the Sisterhood, we know that they have a strong connection with Carul and deliver people to you for your bespoke bodies. Are they important to you, or can we take them out as well?
They are. Their only patron is...
As in...
Their only loyalty is to
Catherine
coin.
basically, yeah.
Okay. Their only loyalty is to coin.
Okay.
Mercenary freedom. They have their own way of doing things. I don't know their structures. I don't know if they work for anyone beyond themselves. I only know there is an organization known as the Sisterhood.
So they have no contract with you, or
not in the same way
that you know
mortal
of.
Might. No.
I see.
They're very good at procuring bodies, though. So, do with that what you will. He looks over to you, Slya. You seem intrigued by this. What do you have to say?
If he kind of prompts her to speak, she would just kind of say, "They're a means to an end for you," correct?
They are. For everyone they encounter, I believe they are. The Sisterhood is... I work with them. That is it. I know no more and no less. They have their own agendas separate from mine. And I would also say, dealing with me does not equal dealing with them. Dealing with Olan does not equal dealing with them. They will always exist. There is no end to their reach.
And if we were to ascend you,
Yes.
as would be part of our deal,
Yeah.
Can expand his yoga business. Sorry.
He nods towards you, Brian.
well, you would have little need for the forge, probably, and more responsibilities. It would be beneath you to continue operating.
You want me to stop what I'm doing?
I didn't say that.
You didn't need to. Is that a addendum you want added to the contract?
More time to pursue cobalt tops.
He does not nod to you for that one.
He does not nod.
What kind of eyes
Is that the
Sorella
real
has,
reason
like-
why?
Sorella is just nodding like, this is okay.
Okay.
Negotiations. If this is something you want added into the contract, all right, I'll bite. But you mentioned two names, Karul and Sai. Karul is a much larger problem, but Sai is a nuisance. Take him out.
We've already got him on a hit list.
Brian has Sai on his hit list. Cass decidedly does not.
We put him on Pico Taro's hit list, so therefore he's on a preyer's hit list.
If we
Yeah.
took out his contract with Alan and rendered him neutral, would that be sufficient?
He beheaded my second cousins, Cass.
I'm not saying we then just let him roam free.
He is
Do a beheading, I agree.
the contract. And that's all his life. He is everything. No, sorry. It is everything to him. There is nothing else. He's already given away
Can
his
I
life for
insight
this.
check that?
Sure, you can certainly try.
Okay.
Trumpets
you.
start playing in the background, apparently.
17.
He seems to be forthright. This is a grand assumption, though. It's a very sweeping statement. To that, I would say take it with a grain of salt. He is a pit fiend and looks down on sort of mere mortals in very basic terms. You get that impression just from talking to him. So there could be something else to it, but this is what he believes. And
Okay.
that's what you get. He says...
Go on.
No, go on.
Brian, if we broke Sai's contract or took it away and then also imprisoned him, and
If we imprison him, we have to
Cass
pay for
wants
his
to-
sustenance.
Cass wants to
That's a waste
believe
of
that
money.
there's some hope in her teacher because he was kind to her and not many people were. So
If you insight check Brian, it's just murder, murder, murder. Constant loop in his head.
Saravine says, I can't help you find the contract. It's not my business and I don't really care to. Also, you're asking a lot of me already. But I can tell you where contracts like yours could be. I'll advise you. And maybe you'll find his. And if you do, and if you get to break it, know that you'll have to break him as well. He'll die for this. If you care for him, my experience is it's best to kill him by your own hand. That's the advice I can give you. But like I said, he is a nuisance to me. He is the one who has to keep the
we will
tabs.
neutralize him as a nuisance.
You will. That is.
Oh wait, no, it's just everyone froze me.
All right.
You froze
Sorry.
it for me.
You froze
you
it. That's
froze
why I
for us.
stopped.
Wait,
Okay, there, you're back.
I'm back.
Cool. Yeah. He just says, I understand. You don't understand how this works. I know what you're trying to do. Speak around what I want from you. I won't let it happen. I want him dead.
I'll
Those are my
execute Sai
terms.
if Cass won't.
He looks at you. I trust that much. But if it grieves you so, let's leave it out of the official contract. But that means leaving out your addendum as well. Looking to you, Slya.
Okay, what she was going to say was, are there any other nuisances that you'd like handled?
Nothing that affects me directly. I'm happy with my position here. I can rule from here. If you are able to take out others, I can easily ascend. Power is mine to grab if there's a vacuum. I'm the strongest there is around. No, I think that's it. Here is what I want from you. Take out Karul. That means death.
As long as he doesn't have another body to go into.
When I say take out, I mean permanently. If there is another body to go into, your side of the deal is not finished, and you will not be free. Not from me.
You supply the bodies, so...
Not anymore, I don't. You sorted that. You have a stay of execution, it seems. A reprieve. Use that time wisely.
Before, we know you produced the body. Is there anywhere else that he's getting them? We need to know to make sure that when we kill him, he fucking stays dead.
I don't give the marks.
People.
I don't give the marks. I only make the bodies. The marks, I believe, come straight from Milan, which means you'll have to cut off his supply, his access to the material plane. If you cut off his access, seal him in his residence, plane of residence, he won't be able to affect me either. He won't be able to stop anything. Then I can ascend. If you can kill him, no, actually, that's impossible. He'd only rise again after a while. Put him down for now. See how far you get. And if you don't, your souls are mine. Seems like a decent trade.
Certainly a trade.
How does one seal a demon in a plane of existence?
I will give you all of this assistance once we've signed a contract. If I just tell you now, you could do it to me.
Oh, true.
That wouldn't be neat, would it?
Well, you're a pit fiend.
Ultra prank.
A pit fiend who wants to ascend. The knowledge would still be useful against me.
Can I also... Do you have a name of a devil that I can just call upon? Cass is like, there might never be a better chance for her, Cass, to get a name of a devil than from a pit fiend. I know that they're slightly different, but he's got friends on the other side. Cass really wants that spell to just be useful.
Sure. I'll throw that one in. A sign of good faith.
Can I sign a contract currently, considering I don't currently have a soul? Or I have one, but I'm not in possession of it?
You are difficult.
Double deck.
You are difficult.
Double deck, just like, yeah.
As such, I would have you sign again as a guarantee. Besides, once you destroy your own contract, your soul is free. And I assume that's something you want to do.
I told you, Loran.
but it won't mean anything until you've actually done something.
Do we all need to sign this contract?
Only one of you needs to carry it, but it needs all of your names. There's 7 of you. Let's choose. Okay. So. I wanted to do this all day. We roll a dice. Okay. Ruby is... Oh, sorry. 6, because Ruby's being excluded.
Oh,
So,
Sorry, Ruby.
poor Ruby.
everybody remember the numbers I'm about to give you? Mm-hmm. Slayer, you're 1. I'm assuming you're sort of sitting in an order. So, next to Ruby.
Yeah,
Oh,
whatever.
sorry. Slayer, you're 1. Bluey, you are 2.
2.
Saraza is 3. Loran is 4. Brian is 5. And Cass is 6. Okay. Are you ready?
Let's have a look. Let's see.
Ready.
And then
Wait, I forgot mine. Is it 4? Sorry.
No.
Brian
No,
was
you're
5.
5.
I'm 5, okay.
You're
And on the
5.
dice, we get a 3. Everyone. Let me just...
Sarah, sir?
You watch as Tarvine just says, I think we need to get this signed then. And he just nods his head, and you watch as Sarah just falls out of his chair and starts writhing on the ground in pain. He just sort of like grabbing his sides, and he's just like, I'm not going to do it because I'm in a public, but like he's just kind of like seething through his teeth, gritted, and you watch as like you can see like heat burning through the back of his shirt, like light on his back, and he kind of scrambles at the fabric, and Loran sort of just falls forward and starts like pulling at the shirt, like looking into you, Sleo, immediately like
Yeah, Slee is like already like the moment Sarah's like fell, Slee was on him.
Yeah. And as Loran pulls up the shirt, you see being inscribed on his back, like veins of magma pulling through, just the sort of the terms of this contract, which we will, because there's not a lot of time, which we will delineate directly. Maybe we can talk about that in chat.
What is with demons and writing contracts on skin? Is it necessary?
Taravine says, enjoy signing it, as he begins to stand up. And he kind of like waves his hand.
Emma, you're
Oh,
muted.
Emma,
Emma.
Pull out your mic.
Is
Oh,
it better
there we
now?
are. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you last hear? I'll just say it again. And he says, enjoy
He
signing it.
stands.
Enjoy signing it. And he stands up and he waves his hand, and a small knife just like clatters onto the ground. And he stands and he says, well, I leave once everything is written. And begins to pace around the room as Saraza lies front first on the ground. What's up?
I need to go.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying that's where we were going to end it for today. So, everyone, enjoy that. Next Sunday. It was really bad luck. Right. So, everyone, thank you for playing. Shorter session, a bit of an awkward time, but I'm glad we could all make it for this most distressing of sessions. We will discuss everything in the chat in regards to actual terms of the contract to make sure everybody's bases are covered. And that's all for today. Thank you, everyone who was
Much
around.
love.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Emma.
Bye.
Bye.
See you, Thomas.
Bye.
Bye.